It is a 4-stage obstacle course designed to test people to their very core. Today, 12 brave souls take on the first stage. Do any of them have what it takes to pass? Find out on Junsei Ryou. In the first stage, contestants have 50 seconds to get past 6 brutal obstacles. First, contestants will have to face the stone steps and then make their way across the unbalanced bridge. Afterwards, they have to get past the wraparound and make their way through the split. And then, they have to jump over Pandora's box and finally get through the metal bounce in order to claim victory. First up is Brandon. How will he do? He's quite young. He makes his way on the stone steps. He's onto the 4th step. He passes it. The 5th step. One more step left, and oh! His foot goes out of bounds, and unfortunately, he is disqualified on the stone steps. Next to take on the course is Derek. Last time he made it all the way to the final stage. Will he be able to repeat that task this time around? He takes on the stone steps, gets across them relatively quickly onto the unbalanced bridge. He grabs 2 paint cans. They are unevenly weighted, I may point out. He reaches the end, places the paint cans down, now onto the wraparound. No problems there as he approaches the splits, makes his way through, just teases those trees onto Pandora's box. No problem. Over the bounce, metal bounce, and he has reached the end of stage 1 on his way to repeating his performance from last time. And now it's time for a brand new competitor, Andy. Let's see if he can make an impression on the course. He starts on the stone steps. Nice even pace, gets across just nicely. Now into the unbalanced bridge. Starting to get thrown off by those paint cans. He makes it across onto the wraparound. A little stumble, but just gets through the split, no problem. Over Pandora's box, out onto the middle bounce, and he has done it! And just like Derek, he too will be moving on to the second stage. A very nice showing from a new competitor. Now it is time for Ryan to take on this first stage. This is his second time on Junsei Ryou. Will he be able to do better than he did last time? He gets past the stone steps with no problem onto the unbalanced bridge. He grabs both paint cans. He starts making his way across the beam. He's onto the second half, and he makes it with no problem. Oh, a little stumble at the end, but it's okay. Now onto the wraparound. He's got to get onto the other side of that tree, onto that wooden plank, and he's on the plank. Got to get across, and he does. Now onto the split. He gets onto the pad. Through the trees, no problem. Now onto Pandora's box. Can he make the jump? He makes the cross. Oh, so close. He had a chance, but unfortunately, he lost his balance after the jump over the Pandora's box, and unfortunately, he has failed. Next to take on the first stage is Matt. Last time, he made it all the way to the final stage. Will he be able to repeat that feat? Let's see. He starts quite tentatively on the stone steps, making sure he doesn't make a mistake at all. Now he's up to unstable bridge. He grabs the paint cans. Remember, they are unevenly weighted. Onto the planks. He's getting them across. He reaches the end, places the paint cans down, and now into the wraparound. He swings around, hops to the end nicely. Now into the split. He's onto the pad, trying to get through the trees. He does a wall jump maneuver off one of the trees and gets through. Now onto the Pandora's box. He gets onto the first beam. Over the box, no problem. Time is running out though, but he makes it to the end with about 7.5 seconds remaining. He will be moving on to the second stage. Now at the starting line is Q. Last time he made it to the 3rd stage. Let's see how he'll do this time. Onto the stone steps. He takes the left side of the steps and whoa. Oh, he almost loses his balance there at the beginning of the unbalanced bridge, but he able to regain his composure. Now making his way across with those 2 differently weighed paint cans. He gets across. Now onto the wraparound. He gets across with no problem. Now into the split. makes his way through those trees onto Pandora's box. He jumps and oh! He just steps out of bounds, and unfortunately, he has not passed the first stage, so his game ends here. Also taking on the first stage was Tim, who gave it his best shot but faltered on the split, thus eliminating him from the competition. Afterwards, Rebecca took on the first stage, but fell on the stone steps and was also eliminated. Next to take on the first stage is Chao. Last time he made all the way to stage 3. How will he do this time? He takes on the stone steps. Very, very quick, no real problems. Onto the unbalanced bridge. He grabs the 2 paint cans, starts making his way across. He is about halfway there. He has reached the end and now onto the wraparound. He gets around very easily. Now onto the split, onto the pad. Oh, he goes back. Back on the pad, and he, does a nice wall kick off one of the trees. Now into Pandora's box. He jumps over the box, lands on the beam. Has to regain his balance onto the metal bounce, and he has finished with over 11 seconds left. He will be moving on to stage 2. Now taking on the first stage is Ashton. Last time he did not pass the first stage. Will he be able to redeem himself this time around? He's getting through the stone steps. Oh, almost a little stumble on the last step, but he makes it to the end, now into the unbalanced bridge. Trying to make sure he doesn't lose his balance on the unbalanced bridge, which is what you should do. Now up to the wraparound. He gets around very easily, on and off like it was nothing, onto the split. Makes his way through those trees, over Pandora's box, almost lands out of bounds, but is able to save himself off the metal bounce and onto the finish platform with almost 18 seconds remaining on the clock. He has redeemed himself, he has beaten the first stage, and now he will be moving on to stage 2. Now it is Nick's turn to take on the first stage. Last time he failed the first stage, will he be able to conquer it this time around? Takes on the stone steps, taking his time, making sure he doesn't want to make a mistake. Very methodic. Able to keep his composure. Now into the unbalanced bridge. Grabs 1 paint can. Grabs the second paint can. Makes his way onto the planks. And he slips on the planks and unfortunately steps out of bounds, and once again, he has failed the first stage. And now finally, it is time for Jordan to take on the first stage. Last time he made all the way to the final stage but failed. How did he do? And already he is across the stone steps. I barely even had time to finish my introduction. He's now into the unbalanced bridge, making sure he doesn't lose his balance. Onto the wraparound now. He steps to the other side, making sure he's very precise. Onto the split. He braces himself. Forces his way through those trees, and now onto Pandora's box. No problem. The metal bounce gets his way through, and with over 24 seconds remaining, he has cleared stage 1 once again, and is now 1 step further to being able to take on the final stage once again. We have now reached the end of the first stage. 12 people took on this daunting task. However, only 6 of them managed to pass the first stage. These 6 individuals will now have to take on the second stage, where even more challenging obstacles await them. Who will survive? Tune in next time to find out.
Say the only thing worth having was found at the end of each day. But that was then and this is now, and he's far gone, and his voice had lingered on for far too long. He said, my fearless son, you can't be stronger than them all. Their blades control the sky and if the jungle likely fall. And you need an alibi just to pass by in this life, cause your shield can't protect you from death sight. Oh no. When he left to find himself, I left in spirit and body and soul. I also left my family, literally. You'll never breathe, and you'll never touch the water. You'll never see the sights that